Hi everyone, welcome back to part 5 of the Book 1 Cozies Club chapter by chapter for A Deadly Inside Scoop, the first book in the Ice Cream Parlor Mystery series by Abby Collette. I'm Di and this is my audio-only reading vlog for this book. Today I will be reading chapters 25 through 30 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read these chapters yet, I suggest that you not listen to this recording until you have. If you would prefer to hear my general thoughts on this book in its entirety, keep an eye out for my Book 1 Cozies Club series First Impressions video, which will be posted sometime after the reading vlogs for this book have commenced. So how is everybody doing this evening? I am doing well. It is raining where I am, so if you can hear the ASMR, that's what's going on. Rain is one of my favorite things. My favorite sounds, and I don't get to hear it very often because where I am we don't get much rain, and so when I can hear the pitter-patter of raindrops, I do appreciate it and enjoy it as much as I can. So that being said, I was going to go back to the audiobook because I feel like I'm enjoying that experience a little more, but since it is raining tonight and I can enjoy that sound that I love so much, I am going to stick with my physical copy and just enjoy the ASMR as I'm reading. So I'm looking forward to finding more out about who the killer might possibly be, seeing Win and maybe Maisie do a little bit more investigating. I really do enjoy when Win and Maisie are together. Sometimes the things Maisie says really makes me chuckle. I literally sit there and laugh out loud. So yeah, I'm going to dive into chapter 25 right now, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 26. I found it kind of funny where Win was talking about how, her grandfather was kind of sticking around at the ice cream store like the mafia. And then, I think that was in chapter 25. And then in chapter 26, when she talks about what he's doing, she's all like, he's like Kevin Costner in the Bodyguard. And I'm just like, make up your mind, mafia or bodyguard. Those are two completely different things. I do enjoy her conversation that she had with her brother, though. I also enjoyed the little rundown she gave us of each of her brothers and what they did, and kind of deciding on which brother would be the one to approach to, like, grill for information, if you will. And obviously she chose the right one. He was full of information she hadn't known before, and this Stephen Bayard guy definitely sounds like he has a lot of potential enemies in the community, just based on what Lou was telling Win. Definitely a lot more than what her mother had let on, because when she had talked to her mom, all the mom had said was a little summary of what this guy did to their grandma, and it looks like he conned a lot of people in the community. So yeah, the suspect pool has gotten a lot bigger just in this last chapter. So Ari has come up as another glaring suspect. I'm kind of hoping it's not him, just because it was like a blatantly obvious conclusion that Maisie came up with early on, and if it turns out to be Ari, I'm kind of going to be disappointed, to be honest. I feel like that would have given it away right away. So So I'm hoping that that's just a diversion to take our suspicions off the course of the right killer. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping it's not him, just because that would be way too obvious. But anyway, I really enjoyed Wynn's conversation with her brother, and even though she still has her moments where I find her naive, especially when she was immediately, kind of suspecting her brother Lou of maybe being the one to kill this guy just because of his profession. It definitely crossed her mind, even though later on she's like, yeah, I know my brother didn't do it, but you thought it. So, yeah, anyway, I did enjoy their moments together, and I'm glad that he filled her in, even though it's really obvious that the family is kind of sheltering Wynn because she is the baby of the family. But anyway, that's all I have to say for right now. I'm going to dive into chapter 27, and I'll be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 30. We are definitely getting towards the end of this book, and all the suspects are coming out. I do find that Wynn gives away a lot of her ice cream. Like, she probably gives away more than what she sells. Yeah, it just seems to me like that. We've seen her constantly go into the freezer and grab, ice cream for her family. What was it called? Family Chef Night. She went into the freezer and grabbed ice cream for that, and then she also went into the freezer and grabbed ice cream for the widow of the restaurant owner, or the previous restaurant owner. Was it Mrs. Keller? Yeah, I think it was Mrs. Keller. It definitely seems like she is getting more and more customers as the days go by, but it's still really early days, so I know she was trying to think about ways to bring in more customers, but yeah, it just seemed to me like she was giving away a lot more ice cream than she was selling. But anyway, ice cream is always a good thing to have on hand, if you ask me. But yeah, I just found it odd that in these last 6 chapters she's given away ice cream twice, and we've seen her give away ice cream before as well. So yeah, I'm glad that when finally confronted her father about the discrepancy in his story, or what she perceived to be a discrepancy in his story, when she asked him where he was, and he said he was at work, but he was, in not the clothes he usually wears to work. And so I'm glad she finally, cleared that up with him. Obviously, there are a lot more shady things brought to the surface about, how the restaurant was taken by Ari. That's interesting information about the property taxes. And when Mrs. Keller had mentioned to Wynn that, they owed $18,000 in property taxes, I was like, what? And then she was all like, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but our business was worth a lot more. I was just like, that is amazing. So it was literally stolen from them by Ari. which doesn't give me a great feeling about him. And again, I'm hoping that he's not the person, because again, it would be too obvious. But the flower shop owner's son, the previous one that Stephen Bayard had kind of squirmed his way into and stole from, I guess, the son of that family is sounding like he definitely has, a bone to pick with Stephen. So multiple suspects coming up right now. I was already prepared for the spoiler that is mentioned about Murder on the Orient Express. I do think that that was not a great thing to have happen. It was really sprung upon you, the way that information was presented. Truth be told, I have never watched Murder on the Orient Express. I've never read Murder on the Orient Express, and that revelation really doesn't bother me at all, because I don't normally read classic mysteries, so yeah, I wasn't too bothered by it. Plus, I watch a lot of crime TV, so I've seen that particular scenario play out in other TV shows. So I guess it wasn't really an original idea for me, but I do know that several members in our Mystery Madness Discord were talking about the fact that the spoiler was revealed for that book, and they were shocked and upset about it. So I was already prepared for that revelation. But I agree with what they said about it. There should have been some kind of warning at the beginning of the book saying, there's a spoiler for Murder on the Orient Express on it. I believe there is an acknowledgement section in the back of the book. I'm pretty sure I saw one when I was looking to see how many chapters there were so that I could divide the book up into equal sections. So I'm wondering if there's something in there that references it. But yeah, the way that it was presented in the book was very, very quick and unexpected, and completely in a mazy type of delivery. But yeah, I guess I know how that book ends now. But that, like I said, that doesn't bother me, but I'm sure it's gonna bother a bunch of other people. I find that in these particular chapters, we weren't spending as much time in the ice cream shop, and Wynn is not as focused on her ice cream business. I was hoping she was going to put in some work on, that event that she has coming up, creating the ice creams and the desserts that she's going to take for that fundraiser. But she didn't, and I think for me, in this book, those are the most interesting parts for me. Those are really the parts that I look forward to. Her being creative with creating the ice cream flavors, and hearing about her making these ice creams. And we haven't seen a lot of that in not only this section, but even the previous section. So that's a little bit disappointing. I did find that my mind wandered a bit tonight, and I'm not quite sure why that is. It was hard for me to concentrate on what I was reading. And I don't know if it's because the mystery aspect of this book is not as interesting to me as the ice cream part, and because we didn't have much of that in these chapters, I wasn't as focused or into it. I don't know. But we are getting towards the end. A lot more suspects are coming to the surface, like I had mentioned earlier. And so we have, I think, 2 more chapters. We're on section 5, right, tonight? So 2 more sections. And I'm wondering if we're actually going to see Wynn do that fundraising event or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to switch back to the audiobook tomorrow, especially with the way my mind was wandering tonight, and I was having trouble focusing on what I was reading. But we'll see how I feel about it tomorrow, and I think that's pretty much all I have to say on these chapters. Let me know what you thought of these chapters down in the comments below. I will be back with you tomorrow for chapters 31 through 36, and I hope you all have a great evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.